Peki.
Jai Shri Mataji, Dr Hamid, Glenda, thank you so much for joining us this evening to share your journey to Sahaja Yoga, and more importantly, to share how Sahaja Yoga has been used by yourself in agriculture. So if we could just start with these lovely photos that you've taken, Glenda. If you'd like to talk us through with it. Where were you? What were you doing when you were seeking, when you got your realization? And this particular trip, the tour, if you could talk to us about it, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, well, I got my realization in the Maccabean Hall in Sydney, Australia in 1981. It was actually Shri Mataji's first program on the 25th of March. I think there might have been a program on the 23rd as well, but on the 25th of March 1981, at the Maccabean Hall, which was just down the road from where I lived, I attended this program. And all I remember was I was sitting right at the front of the hall, and Shri Mataji was looking so dynamic for me, and I thought, she's definitely holy. She had a white sari on. She was standing up. She used to stand up in those days and give the programs. And I was doing Buddhism before Sahaja Yoga, seeking, and I was sitting in a meditation position on the ground. Actually, I wasn't even sitting on the seat. There were a couple of us sitting on the ground in the front. And when she was talking, it just seemed so that I knew it already. I got to a stage where I knew that we had to have, or there was a middle channel inside of us, and there has to be an energy there. I got to that level in my seeking. So it all came very realistic when she was talking about it. And so I felt really nice, and then went up to Shri Mataji at the end. Everybody could go up, and she held my hands and she said, "You'll be all right." And these words stay in me and have stayed in me for the last 42 years, 43 years. And it was just so powerful. And she gave a little booklet to us. And after the program, I put that booklet in my flat. And I thought, that's going to be for later. I have to get rid of all my bad habits. So it took me about 9 months. And then I went to a program also very shortly after that. It was a program at a Yogis place, and it was a workshop in 1981, and on the 29th of March. And there I had my real first experience of receiving my realization. I really felt amazing at this program, and they were all sitting on the lawn, and we were looking at Shri Mataji. She was giving a speech. The workshop is actually on Amruta. And it's a really powerful, powerful workshop. If you listen to her talking, it's
This would
amazing.
this would be 29th March 1981 in Sydney. So we can provide the links to the video. Okay, great.
That's right. And it's a workshop that we had. Yeah. And she said at the end of the talk, she said, "Now I'm going to go inside. You should all lay on the ground and I'll work on you." And as she walked past me, all I could see was this Christ-like person. For me, it was Christ. She had this beautiful white sari on. I could more or less see her aura, this purity, this absolute purity. She walked past and we all laid down on the ground. And my experience was there's all this black tar coming out through me initially. I felt all this dirty scum from smoking and what have you, all my bad habits. And then suddenly this black oil substance started to run through me as water. And this water just flowed and flowed. And I don't know how long I was laying there, but then they woke me up and touched me. "Are you all right?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just water. I've just turned into water." And they said, "Oh, wow, you've had a lovely experience."
Yeah. And
then after,
yeah. Were you a student in your 20s, or were you working at that point?
Oh, no, I was 29 when I got my realization, yeah. And so we went to Shri Mataji afterwards, and she was working on a lot of people who were very ill, a lot of people who'd been to Rajanish, a lot of people who had leukemia, people who'd been to a lot of false gurus. And for me, it was absolutely baffling because Shri Mataji was, powering into big knots in people's backs, and they were vanishing in front of our eyes. And I was just sitting there, and these people would come up and just come up smiling. And I looked at Shri Mataji and I was sitting right next to her and I thought, I'm with Christ. This is Christ in Galilee. She's healing all the sick in Galilee. And I'm thinking this, I'm with Christ. I'm with Christ. I'm in Galilee. And she pulled my hand up and she did a cross on my hand. And she looked down at me and she said, yes, she said, that's right. And I was blown away, absolutely. I thought, oh my God, she's read my mind and she's Christ. It's really real. So my experience was quite amazing at the time. And it took me a while, of course, after this cloud nine. It took about 9 months. And then I was invited to go to the ashram. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, they were all going to India. And I said, oh, I'd love to go to India. I want to go to India. And at the time, Warren was the leader of Australia. And he said, well, I'll ask Shri Mataji. And of course, after a couple of days, I got the answer to say I could go. Yes, you can come. You're ready. So that was the beginning. And this trip was actually 1 year after the 1981, 82. I know it might have been the first tour. It depends on when it was in. It's on, yes, it's Christmas Day, 25th of December, no? It's on Christmas Day. It says 25th of December. So it was still in 82. The tours were over 2 years most of the time. We came in December and then we went home in February roughly. So they were about 2 months each tour. So there's 81, 82 tour, and then there's 82, 83. And then 84 was on its own. We went in January. So 1981, 82, this would have been 82, 83, the year after.
Okay, so
the second time I went to India.
Beautiful photo.
And Shri Mataji was laying after the lunch. I thought it was at Dhumal's place, but it probably is at this.
That's at Dhumal's.
Yeah, that's at the temple, yeah. And she was resting, and this little child, she was holding this little child, and I just thought, Mother Mary with a child. It was just so amazing to take these photos. And Shri Mataji was just posing, and
yeah.
I was just there with my camera taking all these beautiful photos of her laying there with a child. It's so unusual photos. There's no photos like this.
No, very beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Aren't they beautiful?
Amazing. Yes.
And she let me take them, and I was so happy with this. This was before she laid down on the bed, and she was just looking at us. And the times in India when I remember the first tours were very, very meditative.
Yes.
We were very peaceful, and we felt so connected with Shri Mataji because we were physically with her so much every day. And every day we were bowing down to her lotus feet and literally burying ourselves in the vibrations. And she was working on us every day and really looked after us like a mother, with her children. Yes. And it was so powerful, these tours.
Amazing vibrations looking at them as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from 1982 to this one here, 1983.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard. We're going back 40 odd years.
Yes.
It's hard to know because a lot of that's me sitting next to Shri Mataji there, and I'm pretty sure that that's also 82. I think that's 82, 83.
Okay.
I look a bit different than what I did in the first tour, so I think that's 82.
Okay.
And these times were like being with Christ and all the disciples sitting around, and Shri Mataji talked very personally in these talks, and we were always just looking at her feet and her face, her smiles, her laughter. It was so personal. We were so personally with Shri Mataji, and she even called us by our name. And she gave us personal gifts.
What sort of gifts did you get?
One of them was little Ganeshas, and I've still got it, a little bronze Ganesha.
Wow.
And she gave us personally in our hands. We all received this little bronze Ganesha.
Amazing.
And perfumes, she gave us Mogra perfumes, saris, we got saris. You know, we received presents every time we were with Shri Mataji on these tours, and it just was full of vibrations. These
Good.
presents were full of vibrations, and I
Oh,
still got many of these, all of these presents actually. I kept everything.
oh, of course, yes.
Mm.
Fantastic. This is Sri Ganesh Puja in 1983.
Yes, and you see that Shri Mataji's hands used to be decorated as well. They didn't do that later on, but they always decorated Shri Mataji's hands. They put all the elements on Shri Mataji's hands directly, not
Yeah.
on her feet, but on her hands.
Yes.
The
That.
5 elements went on her hands, and then they painted them with kumkum, and all of the earlier pujas were like that.
Wow.
And pujas, we never sang bhajans, we sang mantras, and the
What
mantras.
was the puja like? Like, I mean, it's so different from how we have now, isn't it?
Yes,
Because
very different.
tell us what puja with Sri Mataji, like that Sri Ganesh puja then. What was it like? When did it begin and how was it? What did you guys do?
Some of the pujas, one puja I can remember in Delhi, one of the first pujas, I think it was the 83 tour, 82, 83 it would have been. Shri Mataji did a Shiva puja that lasted 9 hours.
Wow.
And you didn't move. You
No.
didn't go, you didn't go to the toilet, you didn't eat, you didn't drink, you didn't do anything. You just sat there and absorbed the vibrations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Most pujas were meditative. Mantras were said by the Indian yogis, quite different mantras to what we say now. They were more chanting, let's say.
Yeah.
Especially, I remember the Saraswati puja in Dhulia. I think it was in
Mhm.
Dhulia.
Yeah.
Where Mataji stood up at the end of the puja. It was a really, really powerful puja. And in that puja, there were a lot of Indian mantras said,
Uh-huh.
but very, yeah, very powerful. And when I write, I wrote a diary for the 84 trip. And every single time we could go to Shri Mataji after the pujas and bow down, and she blessed us and
offered the flowers, darling.
offered flowers and garlands. We were given garlands to offer personally to Shri Mataji, and she spoke to us. She told us if our vibrations weren't good. She worked on us. She even has given bindis to us. This picture that you are showing now, this was at our wedding.
Ah.
Shri Mataji personally gave us our wedding gifts, the silverware and the brassware she gave to us personally. And each couple she came, she said, "May God bless you." And she gave us these personally into her hands. And she said, "Now look after these things. They're very precious." And I still have them.
Amazing.
Mm. These,
Amazing.
Hamid took these photos. You can talk about these ones.
I don't know.
You do remember. This is where I typed up a project that Dr. Sangwi had asked me to type up, and I had a typewriter was given to me, and I was typing very close to these trees, and typing this project away. Do you remember? And Hamid was taking these photos while I was typing away. But it took me a long time. It was quite a lot of work.
It must be,
That was
yes.
one of the first projects that with Dr. Sangwe. I don't know whether you've ever heard of him.
No, we
And
haven't.
Dhumal, you know Dhumal?
Yes,
Heard of
Dhumal
Dhumal?
we've
Yeah.
heard of. Yes, Mr.
And
Dhumal.
Dhumal was one of the first people to work with vibrated water on his property.
All
And
right.
he discussed this with Hamid quite a lot. You might remember some things to talk about with that.
Yeah.
Rahuri. In Rahuri.
In as I come into India,
Yeah.
and for me it was everything new. I am from Iran, and in my head everything was so comparing with Iran is so and Iran is that, and there's nothing. I didn't find any a big difference between the culture in Iran and the culture of Indian. And this was, for me, very familiar. Everything is happening there. What Glenda took so serious, and for me was normal thing because of our background as the childhood or And we have had a little bit use on this atmosphere. A lot of people coming and hugging you and giving this and that. That wasn't for me new things.
Yes.
And as I met first time, then Dhumal, and Mr. Dhumal was a very friendly person, and we speak a little bit. And unfortunately, at this time, my English was so I could understand more, but I couldn't tell too much.
Okay.
And because of the German, the learning German, and I could understand mostly 80–90% English. But if
Mm.
I want to give answers, maybe 50, 40, 30, 40%.
Uh-huh.
And it was very difficult also for me to understand the English from Indian English. That was a little bit others, and
Yes.
especially Mr. Dhumal has a very special accent. And
Maharashtra.
to understand him, I understand every 5 word one maybe, and for politely yes, and he believe I understand everything. So, and later on, the only things I understand is a farmer. That
Uh-huh.
was that was very good for me. Um, uh, as as I come back from the India, that give me an idea that Shri Mataji has spoken Dhumal, and one or two other yogi was on. I was there too. Shri
Mm-hmm.
Mataji has spoken about the vibration in Mother Earth.
Yes.
Okay, and that was so namely trigger for doing this experiment. I come back from India. Naturally, after 1 or 2 years, Sahaja Yoga, I wasn't so the same Glenda explained, and I wasn't. I must be honest, and I wasn't religious. I wasn't had any interesting about to be religious person at this time. But one thing had me make the Sahaja Yoga is Sri Mataji's face.
Okay. So
As
where did
a,
you see Shri Mataji's face? Where were you?
as a, you know, I was 1979. I was
Uh-huh.
in England, and my husband, my sister, was there, and I met him at the university. Coming back from the England, we lost the airport.
Uh-huh.
England had two airports. We went to the wrong airport. We have to hurry the other airport. And on the airport at this time was thousands of pictures everywhere, and in railway stations also. And from all these pictures, I haven't had any idea who Shrimataji is. And Shri Mataji comment, it was 27 of September. She came, huh?
1983.
1982.
82.
And, I am the first Hatha Yoga from Austria. Before me, that was first day, and it was absolute something like inviting. That for me, said that she must invite me to go to this program. I haven't had, and really, I'm not joking. I haven't had any idea about yoga or any idea about in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And I am environment doctor. I don't like the somebody threw something around. At this time that I come railway station over, I found a newspaper, somebody has threw it up. I went down and take this newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about 3:30. and I haven't had any possibility to go to eat something. I tell, okay, I take this newspaper with me. I go there. I went in the McDonald's. At 6 o'clock, I have had a meeting from my job. Okay, and I tell, okay, 1.5 hours or 2 hours, I wait here and I read this newspaper and go to meeting from my work. And I opened this and small photos, very small photos from Shri Mataji. And first things, my attention went on Shri Mataji. I read it down. I read it what is written. It was very small and thick. I read it today, the day I am there, and exactly 6 o'clock afternoon, this lady meeting an Indian lady doing a yoga program. Okay, that was that I read it, and suddenly in my head, oh, it is pity. I have a meeting another place. It's not too far away each other, not too
All
far
right.
away. And where's the meeting from Shri Mataji? Where's my meeting? Maybe 6, 7 building different.
Was that Caxton Hall then?
Yeah, 150 meter
Wow.
No, this was in Vienna.
in
It's in
Vienna.
Vienna. Okay.
And and 3/4 hours later, one of my friend come the same place, but we have had the same meeting together, and tell me, the meeting has gone because the boss and the two other people coming to meetings, they are sick. We can't do the meeting. Suddenly, in my head, I haven't had any idea from. Suddenly, in my head, everything is changed in a happy.
Yes.
Yeah. That it wasn't first. I begin to think that wasn't first time I don't cancel the meeting. That is not meeting. Suddenly come in my brain at 18 o'clock is the here next to us is a kino, and in this cinema is that the Shri Mataji has two in the near. I tell I tell my friend also, I saw something like this. I am waiting another 2 hours. I go there and have a look, and I don't know anything about yoga, and
Yes.
I want to see that what this lady has to tell. That was the first story. I was first person come in the hall. It was
Which year
nobody
was this?
there. There was two or three person, and they give me some paper. I said exactly the first seat in the three bonds.
Yes.
And come to Shri Mataji. That was the main part. As everybody stand up to invited to Shri Mataji, and suddenly my face to face and eyes to eye. Suddenly in my head, I have seen this lady somewhere. But how is possible? And she's an Indian lady. I am an Iranian. How is possible? I have seen this lady somewhere. And my head is beginning to search it. Where you have seen, where you have seen, where you have seen. I come back in 1979. I have seen her in one of the railway stations that come in my brain. And
Wow.
I've seen somebody like this there. Okay, we sit down. Actually, Mataji has spoken English. As I told, my English is zero in this time. And a lady from Switzerland translated it in German. She has had such an accent, and I didn't understand. No understand German, no understand English. And none of them. It's zero, nothing. Nothing understand what about she's talking. And at the end, she has told, if somebody want to have the experiment, and I told her in my head, I didn't understand any word. At least sit down and have an experiment. Maybe you understand something now. And I sit down. I must be honest, the first moment, That is, first sentence is, put your hand there, am I the spirit? Yeah? As a Muslim, we believe the spirits come only after die. If you die, spirit has gone, and it comes the first night after you buried you, and make you are good, you are bad, you go hell or you go paradise. That is all things what I know about spirit. And in my head, I said, can you be somebody alive spirit? But okay, but that is a part of being, yeah.
Yes.
And after the put your hand here, our Savadistan and so, and the Vishuddhi, I was finished.
Mm.
I didn't understand what is going on in my body. Is everything is every part of my body begin to something.
Wow.
And I was long been in this situation till suddenly I come in me, and then everybody has gone. Shri Mataji make me so, and I looked around, and is nobody there. Two or three people, and Grigor was young man, and this young man has come to me and told Shri Mataji want to speak to you.
Wow.
And I went to Shri Mataji told me tomorrow to come to his house, and it is a puja day. Okay? I tell Mother, my calendar is full, it's not possible. But I try my best to come to program the next day. That
Yes.
was the story from my, what is the name, my realization.
Realization.
After
Which
I
year
come
is
back,
this? Which year?
84. I
1980.
come back from the thing from India, and I get married, and she knows that I couldn't speak English, very poor English.
Okay.
We had so many misunderstandings at the beginning.
A lot of things misunderstanding. How is it? Doesn't matter. That is the beginning. Everything is very difficult, and that
Yes.
was also.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I was in this time driving 2 or 3 places, the plant breeding centrum.
Uh-huh.
And I have had a lot of experiment with different sort of water. And that is some of them is that something, some manure on it. Another places is coming. They are doing that. Some water come from Russia, and a lot of experiment under my guidance is going. Suddenly come in my head, why you don't put one something with the vibration?
Yes.
If the vibration, in my head was that, if the vibration is influence me, my body, plant is also for me as a alive thing, then influence plant also. And without asking anybody, because I was chief, and I arranged it and then do another experiment. I ran then and this experiment and around two or three others water experiment. Then but I have to do it for the company.
Is that also the experiment that monitors the effect of vibrations on spruce trees, right?
Yeah,
Spruce. No, the spruce trees was in Munich. That was in Germany.
that is later. That is.
That
That's
came
like,
a
okay,
year later.
sorry to
Okay.
interrupt. Please carry
Okay.
on.
That's it.
The first one was 1984 on a property just outside of Vienna.
Okay.
That together, that one, that was.
And I found there, but in the labo, I found the vibrated waters, the plants, in compare to all other things what I am doing, for me is better.
Yes.
It come in my idea. Shri Mataji has told us, Mother Earth has the vibration.
Yes.
Why then this one? Why
Yes.
we don't use the vibration there and ask Mother Earth to help the plant. That was the idea come in my head.
Wow.
And I speak very shortly by occasion with Shri Mataji,
Hmm.
and I, I must be honest, I couldn't explain here what I want to do,
Hmm.
but I asked her your permission at this. She, after I get okay, I come back. I tell if it's the plant is a alive thing, the same eye, and I am reacting to vibration. Plant reacted on the vibration also.
Yes.
I thought as then how I must do it. Is you see there is in the middle is an hose. In the middle is the pipe, a hose here.
Yes. Yes.
The
Yeah.
watering, for watering.
And the watering part, watering
Yes.
system, and I managed the. Shri Mata has given me a ring with her photo on it.
A ring with her photo.
With photo, I take
I'll
this.
send it to you later.
I've got
a photo of it.
I take this ring away and
Yes.
put in the hose and manages then the water is going there to the vibrated part, going from this then directly in the with the in the ring, flow
Yeah.
in the vibration. Shri Mataji's photo. And
Wow.
other I separated other parts and how the irrigation has to be. Okay.
Amazing. Amazing.
And I did it. I did it. We make a couple of things, Glenda. Then we make a couple of the photos, and yeah, you can do more.
Yes. So that's the
And
sunflower.
slowly, as the plants began to grow,
Yes.
and the difference was so big.
There's such a
And
difference.
I get interesting to take every week, every time. So I'm going there. It
Yes.
was a little bit far away from Vienna. Every time I am going there, I take a couple of photos, and I found it out this very deep, very big difference. And I thought, okay, after we did the experiment, after finish, we take the crops and we make the photos, and that is it also there. How much the different? I found it around 20% different, and the qualitative is that
Yeah.
vibrated one is very better than other, and
Yes.
that is very good. That is that I remember that I ate myself and both of them and tested it a little bit other. And
Yeah.
I speak with Shri Mataji about all these things. And Shri Mataji was very pleased with this experiment, and mentioned in a couple of times, a couple of places in India.
Yes.
Really. And then as I 85, she told me I have to come to the garden of Pratishthan. And every plant is there. The water garden. As I arrived there was a wild field. Nothing.
Okay. Just
Absolutely
1 minute.
nothing.
Just 1 minute. Which year is this experiment you've done with the maize and the sunflower in Vienna?
1984, May the 27th, 1984, it
May
began.
27th, 1984. Okay, thank you very much. Yes. So now in 1985, you are in Pratishthan. Shri Mataji invited you to Pratishthan.
Yeah.
That's right.
Shri Mataji has
Yeah.
told me
Yeah.
that I have to travel with her. That was I have to go to England, and from England to travel with Shri Mataji. Unfortunately, our leader was very was very what is the name against me.
Oh.
We tell so. And he didn't let me to go to fly with Shri Mataji. I might fly alone. And Shri Mataji asked me in India, why you didn't come? I told Shri Mataji, I couldn't. I didn't want to tell her the leaders this and that. I
Yeah.
could do Shri Mataji, but timely wasn't possible. Okay, we go. I go to them, and everybody from every country has to bring some plants there, and I have to arrange it in the middle of the desert. I have to arrange it on I can take so many plants from everybody's coming. Everybody bring want something, and and nowhere is then you can nowhere is possible to do that, to put it. And everywhere is stony and this is very difficult. I have to do maybe a lot of things to get to. You can't put a plant there. You can't, a plant is a live thing, you can't do it. I said, okay. And the next day, the Aaron was an architect from the house. At this time, the house was only two room. This room was Shri Mataji. The other room we Aaron and we two together, and we sleep directly to Shri Mataji. And it's just no photo, no nothing. No nothing was necessary. Every day, and every single morning, we meditate directly to Shri Mataji. She's sitting there. She gives us sometimes to drink water, to drink tea with us, and we meditated directly. That was the joyful. And suddenly come 300 people want to work. And alone giving them so many people work, without language, without any language, they are speaking Marathi and they are speaking English without language. And every single person, if you want to do something, then to tell something, and I have to do it for her before I tell to show them what I have to do. And constantly I am at the same thing, going one place, the other place, they are doing right. Okay, that's it. That was first years was very, very difficult to working there. But the nice part was that every puja, I am allowed to go to the pujas with with Shri Mataji most time, where if the Shri Mataji is somewhere, and I am in Pratishthan, and we hire the car and go to see the Shri Mataji. And we get the Pratishthan with the vibration. And what we have we have had experiment in slowly these things and going everywhere. And Dr. Sangvi, what the Glenda has told, and he told me and tell me what how I must do the first experiment. The doctors began to do their also. They have had one time, and they told me it is not working. The vibrated part is not good as much as the other part. And I went there. They took me with the cars there where the thing. I said plantation is wrong, and this place is which the vibrator. The person who has put the seed on the ground and hasn't had any idea because of he was yogi, he has to do it. They don't want to give the seed in the hand to a non-yogi. There's a gardener, they knows how it's done. And one of the seed is sitting so, one of the seed sitting so down, and naturally that was difficult. That was very difficult to them. That is what this photo is.
This is the you were in Pratishthan after this or before, because this one says 2nd May 1985 arrival at airport in Vienna. So
That was before the Saraswati.
That I tell the story from this. And
yes, please.
the our leader has told them, then we were on the 27 Sahaja Yoga here. On some of them is very, very new. And our leader has told us that we have to take flowers and collect it us in a flat. Shri Mataji come in there. And Shri Mataji, I bring the Shri Mataji there. Suddenly, we are Orient, we have another feeling for somebody as in Vienna. Still, I am 50 years here, but still I am not Vienna. I must be out in this particular. And I thought in my head, and she's called, how she can then open the door and I am coming. We have to go and receive her. And I take my flowers without telling anybody and come down. And fortunately, he couldn't find a park place there, and he make 2 or 3 times as I come out. And suddenly he saw me. He was so happy I come out. And this photo is exactly this moment. And I opened the door. Shri Mataji know me from the Pratishthan. She was so happy that what has first sentences has told me, I mean, no park places here. No park places here. And then I opened the door. Then I received the mother and bring her up. That was really very nice time.
That was before Saraswati.
Hmm?
So beautiful, such a lovely photo there, and Shri Mataji is just so happy there, isn't so much joy in the photo, and so much devotion. One can feel it. Lovely.
Yeah, I must tell a couple of sentences because you're recording.
Yes,
It
please.
is very important part of how the vibration work in the plant.
Yes.
That is the new system.
Yeah.
What at this time, as I did it really spontaneous, that absolute what coming in my brain, do it.
Yes.
But later on, I get a little bit more. I studied, and I am a doctor. Doctor is always is a little bit curious to find something.
Yes.
What is that? As a fertilizer, what we then fertilizing a plant. We give
Yes.
sample plant fertilizer. What we are doing, we are taking one of the elements from the Mother Earth and making a concentrated thing, more, okay, and we are adding the Mother Earth. The rest is doing the plant. That is what we are doing. We are adding fertilizing and water solve it, and plant root is take it. That is normal fertilization.
What sort of fertilizer are we talking about here? What sort of fertilizer?
That doesn't make any difference. And
Doesn't make any difference. So it can
all
be
the
organic,
fertilizer,
inorganic.
all the fertilizer, but we are given the normally now is all the world. That is has the one of the element, for example, calcium, is a very concentrated. They come in the earth. The rainwater or the watering solve that and plant take it. That is the circulation.
Uh-huh.
And if the vibration water has to do the same things what the fertilization do.
Yeah.
And if we are able to activate it, the vibration, the places where the plant are, okay, the high vibration influence the earth's plumes.
Yes.
The plumes, right?
Yeah.
Earth's plumes.
Oh.
And
Clumps.
huh?
Yeah, clumps. Yeah,
Clumps. And exactly that what the chemical are doing, the same thing. They are fertilizing something and extracting some element, and these things do it the vibration. Okay, they are sucking one of the element, but the plant need, or they're sucking from the clones and staying in front of giving the plant. That is the circulation. What is important part is that you know, nowadays we are living in a quantum. You know, I don't know how far your connection with the quantum field is a it's a very big, huge knowledges. And slowly the humanity beginning to understand the complications and Mother Earth and the complication the plant to Mother Earth and so, okay? And slowly I found it up that is an experiment there, the observer and observe, okay?
Yeah.
Two sentences. This were and the person who is doing this experiment is a very important part of the vibration and activating the vibration. There is the observer and observe. Observe is the vibration. Okay?
Yes.
And in this case, is the observer is the Shri Mataji. If you put Shri Mataji's photo there. And you are given directly in the hand of the God. That is not my experiment. And if she wants to plant grow nicely, and she's doing, if she don't want, then she's not doing. That is it. And a lot of people afterwards ask me how is possible, how is it? I tell, as far as I know, at this time, I must be honest, I haven't had any idea about quantum. As nobody has any idea. But 84, quantum is that then 30 years before, one of the Austrian scientists he speak about this quantum, and 1952, Einstein speak about these things. And that is not the knowledge of an environment doctor. That is for me, it's too much. Okay, and the physics, mathematics, and so. But in the case nowadays, then I have to go with my brain in the 21st century.
Yes.
And I can't make it something is in the same 1984, 5 was so, and now it's the same. No. The explanation is in a little bit other. I have to explain. I am writing a small thing to explain this how the vibration and influencing the plant and how is the working, and so adopting my old experiment in a new knowledge.
Brilliant.
And that is coming. That would come. That is I am doing, and Glenda helped me with the English. Is no problem.
Fantastic.
My English at the moment is not so bad as I believe.
Well, it communicates. I think my question would be, Dr. Hamid, to you about you're a scientist, you conducted experiments, and it's really nice to share that you both have shared those photos, the evidence of vibrations on the experiment that you conducted in Vienna and what you did in Pune, Pratishthan, with what was a barren soil, and then created a beautiful garden which everyone enjoys even now in Pune. The question is, what should people who want to use vibrations for plants, for flowers, or for agriculture, for fruits, what should they do if they don't have a ring with Shri Mataji's photo on it?
Look, I heard in China that was very interesting thing for me. I heard in China, one of the farmer, maybe very close to their house. I visited the farm, and they are putting the Shri Mataji speaking to the plants. They have
A loudspeaker.
Tape recorder or
a
laptop,
tape
yeah.
recorder, and they put it in the
Or
field.
CD player.
Shri Mataji is speaking the plants.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
it. That was for me myself as I heard it.
Yes.
That for me was really surprising. How the idea is changing. You know. First of all, well, I told you that an observer and observer, the person who is doing sometimes every time I do the meditation, since this time, I or I do the program. As soon as I tell we are meditating, first sentences I tell, don't try anything. That is first sentences. I don't believe any type of meditation I did publish. I didn't use the sentences first. Don't try anything. Most of the people come in with the idea, I tried. That doesn't work. Because that is not the devotion. As I did this thing, I haven't had any idea what would happen. I did it. I saw the result. I began to get interesting about it. Okay? And unfortunately, most of the people, they are coming and saying, oh, I tried, the systems are good. And constantly try and hate him. There is constantly the ego working more than it. And
so even as a scientist, you actually
is
put
it as a scientist
Yes.
also, at the moment it's very difficult. You join the scientist as a physical and join as a spirituality together.
Yes.
Because of the science doesn't accept that the spirituality is there.
The limitations of science.
Do you know why? Because they want to be important person.
Exactly.
Okay? Everybody is the money and power.
Yeah.
Then they want to be powerful. I am a powerful physical.
Yes.
But it isn't. I know a couple of physical. They have had realization. They are changed in an absolute 180 degree. And they have written a books. You can't believe how the spirituality with the physics align each other. Align each other, cover each other, make the physique, make the spirituality understanding, and the spirituality make the physique understanding. We are not at the moment of the 20th century, and we go to atom. We are dividing the atom kern. We are dividing protein. We are dividing neutron. We are dividing the quark. We are going down of the quark. We are up quark, down quark, this quark, and we are making three-dimension things, and all of them is all of them. The main thing is that. Main thing. That is the important, interesting part. What I found in the physics, what I found as a science, they found it out till now, this moment. Maybe later they found this better. In this moment there we are inside in. They come out of them. They don't know how our material come. This material, what we are
the synthesis of five elements.
Don't know because this test, quantum test, as you look it, the electron is a particle. As you don't look it, electron is a wave.
Yes.
Okay, right. And from these two things, and now it's in the Switzerland, in France, and in America, a big, huge machine to find it out how the journey, how the journey coming, how the material coming. Until this moment, every physical soul that we don't know. It is coming from the Goddess consciousness.
This is it. This is
That
it.
is at this moment. Maybe later we find a little bit more. But I know from my information, from
Yeah.
everything that I know till now is no evidence how we come, how we as a human here. No evidence. How alive life things come, no evidence.
Yes. No, even how Shri Mataji has mentioned in her talk how that one cell at the tip of the root that goes around the stone in the earth, even that has that capacity to actually strengthen the plant. And where does it get its, shall we say, for lack of a better word, intelligence or that decision? How does it? Who does it?
How does it know?
It's God Almighty. So your work actually, in your work and in this conversation with you, it's so nice to see that, we say, Shri Mataji, verily you are the doer and you are the enjoyer. You're actually putting it into practice, and that's so beautiful.
It is. It is. You know that at the moment, so what the science field, and they are trying to make a computer. Is we have our high modern century is only 0 and 1. That is two things. The byte, what we have the computer use it, 0 and 1. That is all things what we achieve. And this one, we have to make a certain rules. For example, then here is done. You can measure it with meter. You can measure it with your hand. You can measure it with your eyes. You can run rapidly and then slowly. And then different possibility only to here to go there. Okay. And this possibility, we are using only one here and there, till now. That is the 0 and 1. But here, so many possibilities to go there, okay? And we don't see it. And now to a new computers, but they want to do it, and they are giving several possibilities there, and still, what is them? What they can do? And we are coming from one cell. You, I, Glenda, and everybody. One cell. This one more than one cell. And how the Shri Mataji said, in this one cell is everything, every genes, everything, what in my body, how big, how my eyes, my head, my brain, my ears, everything is included in this one cell. And in our body is that 50 trillion cells. And every cell is a couple of million or milliard atoms. And now imagine we are doing a computer 0 and 1. And what we know from life,
Yes.
nothing.
Nothing. That's
Absolutely
true.
nothing.
We've got very limited minds as human beings, but we've got so much ego that we
Exactly.
can't admit it. And that's the story of the day, isn't it? But this is something that you've kindly shared. Is it Shri Mataji's handwriting?
Yeah,
Yes.
that is.
I typed it according to what Hamid, more or less what we'd done.
Yeah.
This was done in 1988. Hamid did a talk at the Rahuri Agricultural College with who was with you, Dr. Sangvi?
Dr. Sambaji.
Sambaji from Pune.
Okay. Is he still around?
Sambaji Shindi.
Was.
Yeah. And they did a talk at the university, and I typed the talk and we'd given it to Shri Mataji to check, and she wrote all of this. And so I retyped
Yeah.
it. There is a corrected version as well, with her comments also in red. This is the handwritten version, and then there's another copy where Shri Mataji's corrections are done in red. So it's quite a long talk, as you can see.
And that's her handwriting at the back, all of it.
All of it's her handwriting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to scan it and get it all because it was on both
No, that's
sides in very,
fine.
very thin paper. I have the folder here full of her personal handwriting.
Would you be happy if we share this link on with the video? So if
You can share it with anybody. That's actually on, you know, Adrian Bazil.
yes,
He
yes,
did this Eternal Moments, and
yes.
Yeah.
it's all on there, so you can
Oh,
share the link.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that permission.
Yeah.
That is nice. Nice after so many years and remembering again.
Yeah, and also the my stuff. There's about our marriages in '84, and then
Yeah,
there's
I'm coming there. Just getting that folder up for you. So where was it? So research and everything, and you got your realization in Australia, Glenda, in Sydney.
Yes.
And Dr. Hamid, you got your realization, well, you saw Shri Mataji in 1979 in London, but then you got it in when was it?
22.
1982 in
I
Vienna.
27, 9
27th September, 82.
September 82.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's just share with you some photos of moments of joy. Remind us what, when, where, how was this, please.
Okay. Ah, yes, that's behind the cloth when we got married. You know, they hung a cloth up between the brides and the husbands.
Yes.
That's me.
Yeah.
There's
That's
Hamid
the
getting
holy
his huggy.
ceremony.
That is in front of Shri Mataji.
And he was very
Wow.
embarrassed. Tell her what happened.
That
Go
is
on.
Ours was the last marriage announced, by the way.
that was the one last marriage. We come back, but I didn't know anything. Really innocent, absolute innocent. I didn't know. We haven't had such a ceremony in Iran now.
Yes, it's
We
holy
don't-
ceremony, isn't
No,
it?
no,
We do
we
it-
haven't had such
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
And I haven't had any idea.
Okay.
And we come, they announced it, Glenda and Hamid, and Dr. Sangvi was there. Then I am sitting in front of them, this photo in front of, my hand is in front of Shri Mataji's feet. Okay.
Wow.
And Dr. Sangvi jumped on me and pulled my coat away. I was so ashamed. You know, we never get take
Yeah, we
clothes in
don't.
front
Yeah.
of woman, and
Yeah.
and on top of that, in front of what for a woman, you know. And the more I ashamed, the louder Shri Mataji laughed. Oh, that made the situation much worse.
Amazing.
And from this haldi what they put me down, Shri Mataji's sari is haldi. Shri Mataji's feet, that is where I have to clean Shri Mataji's feet because of the haldi for the Shri Mataji's feet. And they put me and make him in this situation.
Unforgettable moments of joy. And so this is probably the Havan.
Yes, we
No.
all had our little Havansa, but I think that might have been just before we did the pujas to Shri Mataji.
And this is before.
I've written all about it. I've written it all
I
about
think
it. It's actually on that page. My account of our wedding day is
Where
written.
Shri Mataji's handwriting is there. Okay.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is
there's
the
another
Dr.
document.
Sangvi. That's man then behind.
Yeah, that's Dr. Sangwi just behind. He was my father, by the way. He was my
This one or
Yeah.
that one?
Dr. Sangwi. Yeah, he was
The
great.
one with the
great
hat.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Such a beautiful photo. So endearing.
She was here, so devotion.
Well, we're still together and we're 43 years married, so you know we've done all right.
That is
Right.
Jai Shri Mataji again and again, and congratulations. Good
41
on
years, sorry, 41 years married, yeah.
you.
We
That's
41 years just
fantastic.
in February. February the 15th, 1984, we got married. But
Amazing.
what was really interesting is that actually up until we got married, I thought I was going to Iran. I thought Hamid was from Iran and in Iran, living in Iran. And I had been to Iran in 1974 when it was free, when it was a
Right.
free country. It was
Yes.
fantastic. It was modern. There were modern buses. The
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
didn't have to wear chadars. Everybody was free. And so I thought, well, yeah, no, Iran's fine. I liked Iran. I didn't realize that in 1980 or 79, the whole government had changed and they were all in their, you know, black chadars,
Photos.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
actual fact, I was quite surrendered, to be quite honest, when you think about, you know, oh, I'm going to Iran. But then afterwards I was told, oh no, Hamid's from Austria. Gregoire informed that we would be going back to Austria, you know. I
That
didn't go back
must
to
that
Australia
must have
after the
been some
wedding.
relief.
Yes. I didn't go back to Australia after the marriages. I went straight to Austria.
So
That was
you
quite tough.
so you're an Austrian who was in Australia
No,
when
I'm Australian.
you're Australian, and so because Dr. Hamid is in Austria, you're settled in Austria. Oh, that makes sense. Lovely.
Yes, he was in Austria and he
Yeah.
was a doctor of agriculture in Austria. And I came,
I
he
studied.
got me a ticket to go directly to Austria. I did not, Shri Mataji said, don't go back to Australia. And this
Yes.
was a bit of a shock for me because I had all my bank accounts, my job, everything, you know, I just had to go to Austria. And my parents didn't even know I was married. And so
Wow.
I wrote them a letter, you know, in those days we were a bit fanatical, and I wrote them a letter. I said, well, first shock is I'm actually in Austria and I'm married to poor mum and dad. They must have got the shock of their lives, you know.
Yeah, also those were the days when you didn't have, the smartphone so you could video call and
Exactly.
update it on a daily basis, isn't it? There was no
Exactly. It was
back
letters, you
then.
know, and it took a long time for them to find out that I was actually married, you know. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That's a beautiful account. And
We have had two children. I saw her parent.
Yeah. First time we met them was we'd already had our two kids, or two of them.
wow, amazing.
Yeah. But
Amazing.
yeah, I mean, we are, you know, in Sahaja Yoga. If you're both married in Sahaja Yoga, you change together, and it's
Yes,
a never-ending journey in
it
that
is.
sense. And
Hopefully, an
Prabhuji
evolution.
wanted to have these mixed marriages in order to work and to to bring together these two conditionings from the
Yeah.
different countries. Ours were extreme. Hamid was a doctor, a student. I was like basically a hippie running around the world. I traveled around the world for 7 years, having a great time. I mean, I was a secretary, but I actually worked, did a lot of traveling before
Yeah.
Sahaja Yoga, seeking myself, seeking why am I here? What am I born on this earth for? What's my purpose in life? You know, and being in that hippie era, everybody was the same. They were all seekers. They were
Yes.
all looking for the purpose of their life, and
Yes.
it was such a very strengthening thing to do, was to travel and to
Yes.
meet such beautiful souls, because it was just all the time. And it does extend your capacity, your personality, your understanding of humanity. This you can't get from books. So he had books, I had humanity, and so with the combination,
It's a very nice combination.
I was extreme on this traveling thing, and he was just a totally student. So it was like, and from Iran, the conditionings from Iran, the Muslim traditions, and I had Christian tradition. So it was quite interesting. Quite interesting. No
Yeah.
language between us.
Very tough moment.
Dictionaries, you know, looking up what that word meant. He couldn't
Well,
speak
it would have been interesting
German.
if you were upset with each other because you wouldn't know the language to sort of say, or the other person wouldn't understand. So really, there would
A
be
lot of
very few
misunderstandings.
misunderstandings.
I remember one marriage, one
Yeah.
Iranian married a Russian girl,
Hmm.
okay? And they telephoned each other. He couldn't speak not English, not Russian, and she couldn't speak not English, only Russian. And they
Hilarious.
They call each other, hello, Jai Shri Mataji.
And that was it.
Amazing.
The mother side come, hello, Jai Shri Mataji. That is all conversation finished.
Oh, amazing.
The
Incredible.
combinations of the marriages, the combinations between different nations is so unique
Yes.
in Sahaja Yoga. And, you know, it's only actually the ego that gets in the way if things don't go right, you know, and
Yeah.
we just have to surrender all the time and work things out. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. One couple I have to tell that is to laugh also. One Austrian man married a Australian girl,
Right.
and she couldn't
Not us.
speak German. He couldn't speak English.
Okay.
I I sit in between both.
Uh-huh.
And she talked me, translated to him. He talked me, translated. They
It's so
love
beautiful.
his story.
Is that Susie Baumgartner's?
No, the man that right?
So sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
That is ever so sweet, you know,
That
because
was
love
the
doesn't need a
story.
language, isn't
And
it?
nobody would believe us if we told the stories, you know, and it's unique. It's actually really, really unique.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. It's amazing. It's amazing how Shri Mataji actually did so much for us to take us beyond these human limitations that
Absolutely.
human beings have put in terms of country, color, caste, class, and all these conditionings.
I mean, these weddings in Bordi, the first weddings in Bordi, we were right next to Nasik. It's not that from Nagol, not far
Ah,
from Nagol is Bordi, and it was just like heaven. When I describe our wedding day, we were just lifted up another level, and it was
yeah.
just like gods and goddesses. And Shmataji actually said it. She said, "You're all looking like gods and goddesses today," and it was just so amazing. And
Yeah.
at the end of our wedding, we walked to the sea and we had our garlands. We were going to offer them to the sea. And we said the mantras, and the sea was way out, you know, we were nowhere near it. We just stood on the banks, you know, on the seaside and or the seashore. And we said the mantras, and we was getting to the last mantra, and suddenly the water was at our feet and we could just
Wow.
offer the garlands. It was just unique, a very, very special day.
Let me tell one thing that at the end of our conversation.
Yes.
It's for me, my person was not only surprising, that is a really what you can tell really a wonder.
Uh-huh.
And one years later, I went Pratishthan,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw some roses. And as I arrived there, after 6 days, and first week I was in Pratishthan, I went 85, 86, 7, 8, 9, 90, 91. Every year, 1 or 2 months, I was there to look after and finish it, the project. Yeah, it is a big, huge place, you know,
Yes.
opportunities. Huh? And suddenly my eyes is closed, and one of these roses, the first flowers, the first flower.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see one flower, you know. Shri Mataji, by her realization, opening the Sahasrara, she tell the same actors see his creation. That
Wow.
was these flowers were for me the same thing. And
Mm,
I created these flowers, okay? This is
beautiful.
in this beautiful thing. And I suddenly come in my brain that is first thing is in Pratishthan, take it and give the Shri Mataji.
Wow.
Okay? And I picked up the flowers. I went up. I told you that is only. I went up. I saw Shri Mataji in her sleeping room. And I asked one girl about it, that Chaya, I think her name was Chaya, I remember that. I asked Chaya that, can I give these flowers to Shri Mataji? She went back and Shri Mataji, come in, come in. Then I give Shri Mataji, and she has had in a long time in hand that I tell Shri Mataji, that is first flowers from the garden.
Wow.
And she gave me they gave me what is the name? This
Cup.
a cup,
Vase.
a small cup, and some water was in it. And she told me herself, put these flowers in this cup.
Wow.
I put it there, and I put there where the Shri Mataji normally in the morning come and sit down and have a tea. I put it in one of the shelves.
Mm.
Shri Mataji at 5 o'clock has called me. We are going theater today. Come with me. Then we go to theater.
Theater. Okay.
At this day, I was so busy. I tell mother, sorry, I felt really afraid. I am so tired. If I am there without, except sleeping, I can't do anything. I am too tired to go to theater. Then she excused me. She excused me. That was at the step over, and she turned back and laughed to me and go inside. I tell what this is very interesting. She Mataji I haven't seen and turned back. And she went to theater. It is now around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Okay.
Mm.
They went all to theater. Aaron and I was in the house. Everybody was away. Suddenly the door is open. 22 Indian people come to ask we give the realization.
Wow.
Imagine these things. I tell Aaron, I am sorry, I am so tired. I am so tired, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I am too tired. And Aaron has told me, I am a 1 year old yoga. I don't know how I give the realization.
Wow.
And we guide these people, one of the room where Shri Mataji do the same thing. If somebody come to realization, we guide them there. And I tell Aaron, do it. That is your people, do it. What you want to do. I come back. I sit down then where I put this flower. That is why I'm telling that it's really wonder.
Yeah.
I think I was from tiredness I was so dozing.
Mm.
Suddenly I saw these flowers what Shri Mataji has given me. It then come down and go around my head,
Wow.
go and go back. And I opened my eyes as no feeling of tiredness. Finished. Everything has gone. Absolute has gone.
Wow.
And I looked around, what happened to me? What happened? How is possible? I refuse to go to theater. How is possible? I am not tired. Absolutely not tired. I stand up and go open the door. I tell Aaron, I can't help. Aaron before I refuse everything. Now I am coming telling him, Aaron, I am coming to give the realization. I went there between the realization and I wait 11 o'clock. She Mataji come back. As soon as she come, we heard the car. I come down, and she began to laugh. Again, she's coming out. She began to laugh. I told Hamid, why you didn't sleep? I explained the story to the story. She laughed and laughed. I told you you come to theater.
Wow.
That
Oh,
was really that we went to one time, you tell the same book. We went
We
to
were at
theatre.
this, yeah, we went to the theatre and we went to Pune with our children. This is when I got the name Gauri, actually. It's a very
yes, please tell us the story of how you got your
I'll
name.
tell you this story. Yes, Hamid had ordered a lot of plants and seeds,
Uh-huh.
and we were going to Australia to see my parents. This was the first time they met him,
Which
and
year
we
is
had
this?
two little kids. One was 3, Daya was 3, and Pooja was only 10 months old. So we stopped off in Pratishthan or at Pune, and we went from Bombay to Pune, and then we were staying with the Shindi family, Sambhaji and Vijaya Shindi from Pune,
Uh-huh.
and they were very kind and they offered us to stay. And this was actually the exact time of the Navaratri pujas. These 9 nights of the Devi, this book was from the
Yeah.
9 days of the Devi, which he went to every day. I couldn't because I had the kids, but
Yes.
he went every day to worship Shri Mataji as one of the aspects for these nine days. And one of the days, and we were married on the 18th, our official marriage on the 18th of October, 1988. Sorry, not 88, 84, sorry. And this was in October 88. So we were invited to, this was before he was at one of these pujas, and Shri Mataji asked, what's your wife's name? And she said, he said, Glenda. And she said, this is not a good name for her. This means lady from the glen or lady from the valley, but she's from the mountain. She should be called Gauri. And she wrote it, and I've got it up there. It's a photo of the sari. She gave a sari,
Oh,
and she
wow.
wrote it on the paper of the sari. She wrote down Glenda, then she wrote down Gauri, and then she wrote it in Hindi. And I still have this framed here.
Could you
And
show us?
I'll send you a photo of it.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll send
that's
you a
so
photo
nice.
of it.
What a lovely story.
Yeah, and then I got the sari. I didn't get it directly from Shri Mataji, but then the next day or a couple of we actually did one of the Navaratri pujas in Pune, which I believe was on the 16th of October, around about the 16th of October in 88. And Daya was only 3 and she had a sari on and everything. And I was called to go up to the stage to join the women for the puja. And Pooja was only 10 months old, my baby. So I sort of put her down. She was just gone to sleep. And I'm walking and Daya's following me the whole way up. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's coming up with me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I thought, just let it be. She's supposed to be. And she did the whole puja. She put the bracelets on Shri Mataji. She put the perfume on. And she was so brave. And she was only 3, you know. And it
Bless.
was
So sweet.
amazing, yeah.
Innocent. Yeah.
But then Shri Mataji asked, "Oh, you like your name, Gauri?" You know, she called me from that time onwards. So yeah, it was very, very
Remind
special.
us
Okay.
which year is this?
88.
1988.
Yes, and we were married officially on the 18th of October, 84. And I think I got the name on the 18th of October, 88. Yeah.
Amazing.
On the
Amazing.
8th day of Navaratri, 88. So 8, and our house number is
Full
8.
figure
So
of
8
eight.
is very, very auspicious. And in
Yeah.
Chinese, number 8 is a very auspicious number, apparently. It means
Amazing.
infinity or eternity.
Infinity, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
when you look at it, it is infinity.
exactly.
Yeah, 8 is the
8 is
story.
infinity. So
Yeah.
we are very family of 8s. We have a lot of 8s. Yeah.
Just before we close the interview for this evening, if I could share this study. It's a project to monitor the effect of vibrations on spruce trees dying from acid rain.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That was I think 1990. Yeah, 99.
No, I think it's earlier than that. I think
I
the dates on it. I know that the girls, I think, were they in India?
I don't remember the date, but I know that
Might be written somewhere.
89 or 90, one of them, this one.
At the beginning of summer 1985. It was 85. Yeah, Daya was only a baby. because I had her with me.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
That
summer of
is-
'85.
that
She was
is-
born then. Yeah.
that is
You
one-
started it, and then we kept going.
That is
year
was
on year.
the in Austria, in Germany, the acid rain was very, very difficult to manage it, and none of the science has known something like this. And I offered in our company, I put the badges.
I
and-
sent you a copy of the badge to your WhatsApp address
and
as well that we used.
and they didn't accept it. They know that is too fanatic on something like this, and it was a girl from Germany. She was a Sahaja Yoga.
Annegret.
And the Annegret has a forest, forest is okay.
Yeah,
That's
she had a piece of forest on
piece
her
of
property.
forest. And that hired by the forest man looking after the vivet. And she told me, why you are not doing the experiment in my forest? And she gave them the address for me, and I went there, and I put round around her property, Shri Mataji's badges, round around. And at this time, the mantras, I knew about it. I took this mantra and put the vibrated water, every possibility, vibrated water then around from the feet of our mother, and come back. Come back. You know, in agriculture, it's a 1 year's thing, and you sow, for example, wheat, and you see the summer how it's going. Okay. But in forest, it's not so. You can't see very easy that you can see. I speak the forest director from this places who is looking in this part. I tell them, please don't remove these photos. Let me see if it's any influence on it. There's the acid rain. And this project, I 3 or 4 years long, till 88, 89, every year 2 or 3 times I went and check it out and take the sample and then I am myself first man, and I knew that what I have to do. After 10 years, we compare this part with all the forest around. On this part in the town about from the race, much better than all of them in the experiment what they have done and the forest director has asked me what I have done there. We can produce it and give everybody the difficulty with acid rain. I tell, you know, I have to have the permission from mother and to do something. That is not my decision, that is her decision. And I must be honest that the way was very far away. It was every time very difficult to drive there, drive back and take the test and all of them. And I didn't continue more. That is the result. What we have had is in this time, after 10 years, we find it out that is much better than all environment, this forest, what we have done. Put the Shri Mataji's badges.
We had a lot of badges, and we did a lot in Austria as well. We put badges on areas that were a bit
Did you tie
deteriorated.
them to the tree, or you must have tied them?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just to stick it in the tree. You know, the badges, you can stick it on any of the branches. It
Okay.
had enough pressure on it.
And
Nice
that is
idea.
also another possibility to, for example, you have a plant is at the home
Yeah.
You put a
that is
badge there.
Or that is a possibility to vibrate it directly.
Badges or these little laminated photos, you know, you have these
Yes.
laminated photos, that also works. You
Oh,
can put them in your plants as well.
oh,
And water with vibrated water, of course, you know.
vibrated water, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all the
We did
difference.
that also in Germany. We took vibrated water, and even if you just water it once and then the rest of the time it's just on rainfall, it's still got the vibrations, you know, the first time around. So, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well,
Okay.
it's
Um,
brilliant talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening to share your valuable work on the the scientific proven studies you've conducted in various countries, Austria, Germany, India, and the effect of vibrations, the effect of Shri Mataji's photo, and the blessings of Shri Mataji on nature, increasingly with what's happening, global climate change, this, that. We know there is a solution. And thank you so much for being
okay,
a
thank you.
pioneer, thanks to Shri Mataji.
Mhm.
So,
Especially at the moment, this is, that is a new subject. This is,
yes,
a new thing. This has always you have to see the problem from several directions. On
yeah,
the one side is that is a new subject. This is how you use the Mother Earth
yeah,
in this particular manner. But I am pretty sure the later and in India and how they have at least a possibility to give the realization. The Yogi Mahajan has called me, thanked me that I'm doing this experiment through that about 5,000 people come in onto hearing, and if they are doing or not doesn't make any difference. But at
They
least
get
they
the
are getting
realization.
the realization. It is a very good occasion for the farmer to come to get the realization. That is
absolutely.
a big blessing for me.
That is such a nice blessing from Shri Mataji. And thank you so much for joining us this evening, Dr.
Thank you
Hamid.
so much. It
Thank
was
you
lovely.
so
Thank
We
you
much.
so
really
much,
enjoyed it.
Glenda. Lovely to
Okay.
meet you both and to talk to you. Thank you, Shrimatji, again and again for giving us a solution to these problems that are manifesting big time now. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Shrimatji, for everything.